perfect RIA, in case you didn't know. Bringing you all the strategies to help your business grow. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Sit back and listen in while you feel the beat, yeah. Another myth bites the dust.
Hello, TPR Nation. Welcome to today's Follow-Up Friday episode. This is Amber Kuhn from the Perfect RIA, and on our Follow-Up Fridays, we go over highlights from Monday's episode. Matt and Micah kicked off Monday's episode to share that just because they enjoy traveling and having adventures out of the office, it doesn't mean they're not taking care of their clients. As long as they're being proactive and delivering value to their clients in turn end up being supportive of the travel that Matt and Micah do. Matt compared traveling and being out of the office to the cruise control in your car. You're not ignoring your practice while you're gone. There are systems in place if you're on vacation, but you still have a pulse on what's going on to make sure massive value is still being delivered. Micah added that although you can be somewhat on autopilot, this doesn't mean everything can be delegated, such as estate planning. A lot of advisors say they do this, but in reality, what they're doing is just recommending their clients go see an estate planning attorney. Micah said this isn't estate planning. That's just delegating out estate planning. And in that case, you're not delivering massive value to your clients in this area. Matt said estate planning is something he'll bring up with a prospect. If the prospect comes back with a comment about his fee, he'll then ask if their advisor is reading their will or trust. When they're surprised about this even being an option, he'll share that the discount they're paying really means they're receiving discount service. Micah added that when faced with this situation, you can add good news. This is something we can help you with. It shows that you are the solution. Not getting the necessary documents, such as estate planning documents, is a deal breaker for Matt and Micah. Matt said, how can he sleep knowing what could potentially happen? This is a liability and not the type of person that he can work with. Matt equates getting the estate planning documents as the same as going to the doctor. You go and get your pulse and blood pressure taken. You don't necessarily ask questions about it. You're told it needs to happen and you comply. So for prospects and new clients, he says to them, here's a list of the documents that are required. It's not a question. For current clients, Matt recommends positioning this by saying, we are committed to always improving our practice, and we're adding this as an additional value to you, and therefore we'll need these documents. Micah said that it's easy to feel some head trash around not having done this in the past, and then you're going to start implementing this in your practice. But the reality is that clients love that you're always learning and that you're adaptive to doing what is the best for your clients. For Micah, he said he's always looking for the best solution for his clients. And he said it's helpful to have in his back pocket 2 or 3 stories that you can then go through to give examples as to why it's so important to go through these documents, especially if you're getting some pushback. Matt believes it's important to empathize with the clients as to why they wouldn't want to share the documents with you. For them, it's a hassle and not necessarily a pleasant subject to think about. Matt likes to keep this easy and simple for his clients. And he'll give examples such as if you're traveling and something happens and you're in the hospital, you and your family could just call us and get these documents. Matt also shared an example of a client whose son had gone and changed the document on his own, but Matt had the true copy and was able to show that the son's document wasn't the correct one. Micah stressed ensuring that his clients' needs and wishes are made clear and are in the estate planning documents correctly. He shared an example of kids who have inherited money and then they go and disinherit the siblings. This can create a lot of drama and tension. And it's emotional because you're talking about death and the potential for kids to mess things up. Matt said this is what separates good advisors from really great advisors. Great advisors know they need to be careful on how they are presenting things to a client. Always put the blame where it's not going to hurt anyone's feelings. Matt also shared that this can take a lot of time, and it is a lot of work. This is what separates top advisors. This is why they can charge more. A few items for Backstage Pass and Invictus members. Matt and Micah reference some of the documents that they use. The estate planning attorney checklist. Micah recommends staying involved throughout the entire process with the estate planning attorney. There's also the estate planning flowchart. This is a one-pager meant to make it really easy to understand what the plan is and review it every year. This makes it a lot simpler than going through a ton of legal documents. Anytime a client wants to make a change, for Micah, the first person they call is him. And lastly, the long-term care value add. Our Backstage Pass and Invictus members can find these within the Backstage Pass. Matt and Micah ended with the importance of making sure that you're taking information from these documents and adding them to your CRM or spreadsheet so you can reference them later. All right, let's get into this week's action items. Action item number 1, create a system for getting estate planning documents for every client. This could be using a letter from the Backstage Pass, making an agenda item on your fall surge, as well as having a list of which clients you have estate documents for, whose are current, and who you need an action item for. By fall surge, the goal is to have about 90% of current estate documents. Action item number 2, what are you doing to up your estate planning game? Is it meeting with estate planning attorneys? What is in your personal development plan to increase your knowledge on taxes and estate planning? Action item number 3, you need to be attending conferences where there's a group of advisors who can tell you how they are doing this in their own practice. Action item number 4, be sure to join the Perfect RIA for our panel of success at the XYPN Live Pre-Con on October 8th. You'll learn what it takes to double your effectiveness while working less. By learning from other advisors, you can shorten the time it takes to increase the value that you're delivering. Go ahead and visit the Perfect RIA to get signed up. All right, and our last action item, please be sure to give us 5 stars wherever you are listening. Thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time, happy planning.
Hold on before we go. Something that you need to know. This isn't tax, legal, or investment advice. That isn't our intent. Information designed to change lives. Financial planning can make you thrive.